It's a beautiful, wonderful day in April. The temperature is going to be in about 60 degrees. The wind's out of the southeast, going about 15 miles an hour, and we're going to try to catch at least 40 or 50 bass today. And we're going to do it. My favorite way of fishing is with Midwest Finesse rigs, and we're going to use primarily kind of two baits. One is a Z-Man Fatty Z, and the other one's a Z-Man Zinker Z. And these things are 5 inches long. To make them a finesse bait, we're going to take them and cut them in half, just like this. And we're going to take the other one and cut it in half, just like this. Whoop, I didn't quite do that. Let me get it. There we go. So we have essentially two baits here. And we're going to rig it on a 1/16 ounce jig head. This is one we've cut previously, and it's this is made by Gopher Jigs in Deerwood, Minnesota. This is a 1/16 ounce, and you can see that why they call it a mushroom head jig. It looks somewhat like a mushroom. And we just put the tail of the Fatty Z on here, and it looks like this. We call these stick baits, or this hook is a little askew here. Let me try to get it a little bit straighter for us. Let me change here baits forward. And you can rig it with the flat side down or the flat side up. If it's flat side is down like this, it tends to glide more. If you reverse it, it'll wiggle a little bit more. But this is a stick bait, kind of like the Gary Yamamoto Cinco, and it is really a very effective bait. And we try to catch 101 bass in 4 hours. And to do that, we usually always bend down the barb. Since we fish in barbless hooks, because we don't. When you catch 101 fish in 4 hours, you want to be as gentle as you can on them. And we always fish that way, and it allows us to release the fish very quickly. And if we hook him somewhat deeply, it'll come out a lot easier.
Ned, most people can't even fathom catching that many fish in 4 hours of fishing. I mean, you've told me before that it's not that important to you to catch a bunch of big fish, but to catch numbers. Go into that. I mean, and again, these baits don't look like a big fish catcher. What's the reaction you get when people see those baits and you tell them you can catch up to 100 bass?
Well, initially, when we first started doing this a number of years ago, the big bass fishermen kind of poo-pooed it, thought we were, just blowing smoke apparently, or just exaggerating, the propensity of a lot of fishermen to exaggerate. But we keep pretty accurate records. We have a counter. We keep a time record on these things, and so it is now kind of we call this Midwest Finesse fishing. And it originated back in the late 50s and early 60s with a guy from Kansas City by the name of Chuck Woods, who created the beetle. And the beetle, it was the first bait just like this, and this is why we keep on doing it, because this is a new generation of a beetle. And we also use a small plastic worm at times on it, and we'll use a variety of other baits. But these are the primary baits, and this was the original one. The Zinker Z back in October 12th, 2006. A friend and I were fishing down in a northeastern Kansas lake, a community lake. That's a public lake, heavily fished one, and we fished for just a little bit longer than 4 hours, and we had 102 largemouth bass, one walleye, and a wiper on this particular bait on a red 1/16 ounce Gopher jig, just like that. And ever since that day, we've been doing it.